is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Hawaiian Punch says Butch Davis seems upset at FIU. Yes, he is. Brett McMurphy, by the way, says Butch Davis said he was not allowed to he was allowed to only offer 1-year contracts to assistants, hampering his ability to hire coaches who could get multi-year deals elsewhere. When Davis arrived in 2017, he found out that all shoulder pads were at least 10 years old. The school wouldn't provide the money to purchase new shoulder pads, but an assistant coach had contacted Mississippi State. The Bulldogs program had shoulder pads that were 5 years old, but they were replacing them. So Mississippi State gave FIU its shoulder pads at no cost. They were 5 years old, but they were new to us. In today's college football world, where some schools get new uniform combos literally every game, FIU is using uniforms that are 9 years old. He also said the coaching staff was not allowed to go on the road recruiting players the past 2 years because of the school's financing reasons and COVID-19. In early October, the school ultimately undercut Davis after 5 games. FIU posted the school's on the official website and also the ACC Coaches Association website an opening for the head coaching position. The school said FIU's university website lists job postings for each of his head coaches and assistant in every sport, even when there are no openings, but did not address the AFCA posting. This year has been a nightmare, Davis said. You can imagine the players' reaction when a head coach's job was posted online. The administration has been sabotaging the program. Their decision to post a job has resulted in a major negative impact on the football program and our ability to recruit and retain players. Pete Garcia, who hired Davis, stepped down last week as the school's AD. FIU is 1-9 this season, decimated by injuries. For the past 3 years, losing 34 players to season-ending injuries, including 13 to this year. Of the 85 scholarship players on this year's team, 21 have suffered season-ending injuries or left the team for various reasons, including 13 starters. Last year, during COVID-19, Davis says he didn't believe it was safe to play because FIU didn't have enough healthy players. FIU only had 50 players available. 20 of those were walk-ons, but still played 5 games. Davis's resurrection of FIU was the latest of what he tried to turn the program around. And then he goes on to say about the stuff that he did at North Carolina, which he did nothing, and all that stuff. This is the results of an administration that has spent a boatload of money on the athletic program that has been an utter failure. And I tell you this because you ask the average student that goes to FIU, and it pisses them off that on their bill, there's this giant charge to support the athletic program when they don't go to games. They don't care about the games. They don't care about the teams. They don't root for them. They don't attend them. It's a problem. And when your administration, remind me, like FIU, is not really truly dedicated to what they're supposed to do, this is what happens. If you don't spend on the coaches that you need, you're not going to have a great football program, University of Miami. If you're not going to support your current coach or coaches, because apparently this has been going on for years, then you're FIU. Don't have a football program then. That's the best thing you do. Why are you going to have something that's going to be a loser? If you don't have the money to buy shoulder pads for your team, then you shouldn't have a football program. But the problem is Pete Garcia, who's an absolute disaster, and why they allowed that clown to be in place for so long is the reason why. You allowed them to go out there and build all the things that you built, from the gym to the stadium and everything else that you built. But if you're not going to support it so it can become a good product, so then you can get the people to attend, so then you can move up in conferences, so then you can move up in talent, and then you can move up in achievement, not just winning the Sun Belt or the Conference USA. No, how about winning the ACC and winning whatever other big conference that you could have joined with time? FIU and FAU have something beautiful that the University of Miami will never, ever, 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 ever have. They'll never have it. And you know what that is? An absolutely phenomenal alumni base. Both FIU and FAU have an incredible alumni base to build from, to pull from, but they have to do their part. But if you're going to commit to athletics, then commit to them. But if you're not going to commit to them and you're going to do things half-ass, like hiring Butch Davis and keeping Pete Garcia around and not being able to buy shoulder pads, then you are what you are. And I know there's a lot of you out there, you're kind of quiet, but there's a lot of the FIU people that would love to see their program actually matter. And some of them actually even get mad when you say things like what I'm saying. But this is the truth. This is the honesty. And FIU, if you want to play the game, then play the game. But if you're not going to do it, and you're not going to get real coaches, and you're not going to get real shoulder pads, and you're not really going to commit and help, and you're actually going to allow the job posting of your head coach to be out there on the web, then you don't really want to win. And everything you're doing is counterproductive to all the money you're wasting in football. I mean, you go to an FIU game and it is a ghost town. And let me tell you something. The FIU stadium is a super cool little stadium. It's a great foundation to actually build a really nice football program. I love that stadium. I think it's a fantastic stadium. I love how they have all the way on the top, all those tables and everything else. It gives you a great view so you can check out the city skyline, the sunset, all that kind of stuff, and watching a game. You know, that middle section in the end zone back there, there's all kinds of potential there too. I mean, it's really a nice stadium, and FAU's got a really nice one too. FAU seems to have more commitment to athletics than FIU. That's what it seems like to me. Seems like they're trying a lot harder to support their programs to try to build it up. Lord knows they've gotten so many big names in basketball for their coaches over the years. I mean, they try. And they're trying in football. But FIU, if, this is true what Butch is saying, it doesn't matter who you have coaching anymore either. And why'd you keep Pete Garcia around for so long? Why did you allow that guy to do all the damage that he did there? That's your problem. So if you're going to have an athletic program, commit to it. Just like the University of Miami. You want to play in the ACC, you want to play national championship games, buy real coaches. Don't buy Mickey Mouse stuff like Manny Diaz. That's what will solve your problem.
This is the Big O Show.